Hi everybody. Well, I thought it was time that I give you a tour of my room since it's cleaned up a little now. I had the worst mess in here. So I've gotten some things cleaned up and organized a little bit better. So I thought I would show you where I work every day. So when you come in, behind the door is where I store the drying rack, and my punches are hanging there, stored on the back of the door. So they're there. I've got a lot of these little plastic bins. This one just holds ribbons and miscellaneous junk. It's just, for lack of a better word, it's little bits and pieces of ribbons and extra Scotch tape and staples and staplers and that kind of thing is in there. Okay, on this side, this cabinet, it stores a lot of stuff too. I'll give you a look into a few of those drawers just so you get an idea. I've got a little cage on the wall, like a little bird cage here that I store my some of my ATCs. I display them on there, and some of the artwork that has been sent to me or that I've made myself. And my guillotine type cutter is on the top of this chest. And in here is just, it's really messy. It's stuff like extra glue and stuff for the grandkids to use when they're here, and ribbon and lace. I've got a lot of ribbon and lace, and it's pretty messy, but I know where everything is, and I guess that's the most important thing. There's brads and eyelets and bling and stuff like that in this drawer, and rubber stamps. I've got a good place that I just started storing my wood-mounted rubber stamps, but in here is some more of those and some cling stamps, and my texture stamps are all in here, and there's some ink pads that I don't use as often that are just stored in here in this drawer. But this is just full of, it's just basically a place to store and stick all of my stuff. I'm carrying around my iPhone. I hope I'm not making anybody sick with the motion, because I know I get sick with the motion, so I'll try to move around slowly. But over here on this side is my desk area, my printer, and trash can down here. I've got a bulletin board on the wall back there and a calendar, and that's my view outside. I love my view. The woods, we've got woods all behind our house, and that screen is the top of the pool screen. So there's a pool down there where the kids, the grandkids come and hang out. In the summer, we spend a lot of time down there. And over here is a little storage. It's like a little seat or a footstool or whatever, but it's got storage in it, and I use that for cardboard and you know, bulky type items that you use in mixed media. You can see I've got magazines all over the floor. Those bottom racks have some magazines. Those are card making magazines that I'm keeping for now anyway. But down here on the floor are the ones that I've been using for like journaling by fives and stuff like that. But there's just a lot of storage on my, this is a big IKEA shelving unit. So, and it stores a whole lot of stuff. Over here is like watercolor papers, and my watercolor items are in this little bin. And there's more mixed media paper and printer paper and some more composition books for JV5s over here. There's some buttons in a jar up here. In this cabinet, I store a lot of the stuff I use for mixed media. Matte medium, gloss gel, matte gel, the molding paste, Yes Paste, Mod Podge extras, shaving cream, fine line applicators, all that's in there. And in these bins here, I have some dyes for my Cuttlebug. Some of those bins are empty there, and a couple of them, I don't know what they have in them, papers and things. I know that these have like jelly prints. I go to this box whenever I need to use a jelly print that I've already created, and then there's a box here for things that I want a jelly print on. And up above here I've got my inks on a Lazy Susan. There's alcohol inks and dilutions and some smooch sprays, and they're just kind of easy to get to this way on a Lazy Susan. This has got some ephemera of just my own ephemera for use in my smash books or whatever I want to use it on. I haven't decided yet completely. There's just some extra flowers and buttons in jars. This box has paper flowers. They're all stored, you know, down in there. An extra cutting mat here, and these drawers just have, you know, miscellaneous. This one has buttons, some buttons. This one has just other little embellishments and things are in there. That's just storage. It's not anything major. Over here I have my books. This is a book. These are my books and things that I've gotten at the Goodwill to use, you know, dictionary pages and music books and children's books and atlas and things like that that I can use for collage and my mixed media stuff. Up here are some other books that I have for scrapbooking and card making that I used to do before I was more into mixed media. And my Cuttlebug sits down there on the floor, or on the bottom shelf. Okay, so this is where I sit to create, and everything that's on the desk, the table right here, is always here. All of this stuff is always out. Paintbrushes and water, and there's usually paint on the table, like you see some paint over there. Glues and pens, things that, these are just things that I use, paper towels, things I use all the time. And this cute little container my friend Kat made for me, isn't that cute? Little camper. It has my glue in it. And so all that, like I said, just is out all the time. This is the craft mat that you always see when I'm working. Over here I have 6x6 paper pads. Right here are my journals. And then right here next to me is another paper cutter. I keep that, you know, handy right next to my desk here. There's some more paper, sorry, not paper, but some more flowers in this drawer. This is where I keep my washi tape. And down here is just punches and little hand punches, and palette knives are in there in the bottom, and some tools for jewelry making. That's what I keep there. Markers are right here, right next to me. My Pitt pens and Posca pens are all right there within easy reach. My rags over here. On this shelf is, this isn't always here. This is the cart, or the, I'm sorry, the tote that I use for my Fobonichi. And I usually work on this downstairs when I'm in the other part of the house. And so it's easy for me to, you know, carry, you know, my Prismacolor pencils and the markers that I use in the Fobonichi. It's easy for me to carry all this downstairs in this tote. So that's what I use that for. And it usually stays downstairs. Then right next to me, This drawer is where I keep scissors and Scotch tape and miscellaneous. This is the ink pads that I use the most, right next to me. This one is for paint. By the way, my heat gun, I sit it right down the bottom shelf there in a glass vase, because I know the tip has got to be hot when you're finished using it, and I don't want to sit it on the table. I have heard about people's heat guns falling off the tables and turning on, and that could be so dangerous. So I just keep mine in the vase. You'll hear it clinking when I pick it up or put it down because it's in a glass vase. My little container of wipes is down there. But anyway, this is paints in this drawer. This drawer also has paints. Okay, and then moving over, there's a little shelf here. I mean, a little cabinet here. This is just product tags that I'm saving to alter or whatever. This is where I put this is where I put index cards that I'm, doing backgrounds, just from waste paint and stuff. I just keep them all in this drawer until I'm ready to use them. And now it's really, really full. So I've got to start making some more iCats. It's getting really full. This is for ATCs up here. Background started on ATCs, and there's some back there that were gifts that were given to me in swaps. And then this container has all the stuff in it that I use for stamp carving. Eraser and the carving tool, and some more carving block material. So, and here's my little stamps that I made. So that's what that is. I need to do a video on stamp carving sometime, like a basic one. Alright, and then there's some more Pearl-Ex, and in this container there's Pearl-Ex powders, and this one has, I cannot think of what these paints are called. They're the ones with the shimmer in them. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, but I can't think of the name of them. So recently I added this tall tower of drawers, and they're sold at Target, and they I bought them in sets of 2. I believe it was 3 sets of 3. So I got this because of all the mixed media stuff now that I have and no place to put it. So all these drawers basically hold, like, foam stamps and, things around the house items and things that you use on your jelly plates and stuff like that. There's some more foam stamps up here. Here's my brayer and some more, like I said, foam stamps and texture plates. And up here is just some tapes, my drywall tape and coffee filters and, regular packing tape. Here's some buckets that have things in them, like paper beads. I was making some paper beads for a while there. Don't do that too much right now. In this drawer, and markers in this drawer, and some more mixed media items in this drawer. Nothing in that one yet. And some more mixed media items there. Got stencils on top, the bigger stencils up here that don't fit in my drawers. I've got laying on top of the cabinet. Okay, and then over here, I have my jellies, the 8x10 jelly plate and the baby jelly, the 3x5. And under that is Intense blocks. And then these are another set of new drawers that I got. I was so excited to find these to store my wooden rubber stamps in, because the drawers are skinny. and it's so hard to find something that's got a skinny drawer. So I really like this. I've started, you know, putting my stamps in the drawers, and I may label the drawers at some point. I'm not real big on labeling things. I usually just know where things are that I'm looking for. Eventually I get used to where everything is, but it's just really nice to, you know, be able to have a place to put, you know, these stamps. And the drawers don't come out, they stop. So it just will hang there. And you don't drop, you know, a heavy drawer full of rubber stamps. So I am really, really happy about this setup here. And I've got some alphabets in there, and some of these are still empty, so I haven't filled up all the drawers yet. And here's more mixed media stuff, punchinella and bubble wrap, and these little things you use for take the lid off jars or whatever. What do they call them? Gripper pads. They call them gripper pads, but they work real good for stamping and using on the jelly plate. This is where I keep my smaller size stencils. They're just all in this drawer. And then there's more mixed media stuff in here, tissue paper, bubble wrap, and all that. Down here is where I have all of my Liquitex Basics paints. Down there, they're heavy, so I've got them in the lower drawer. Okay, so that's the shelving unit right there. That's the Expedite shelving unit. There's two there, a tall one and a lower one from IKEA. And the work table is also came from there, and it attaches to the shelf on one side, and then it has this one leg that comes down on this side. And I really like this setup. I have been extremely happy with this unit and the table. Very much so. Now the glass, I did buy a piece of glass to put on top of this. We were having some glass put in another area of the house, and so they brought this glass out on the day they brought the other glass out, so I was excited about that. There's my new paints from Home Depot. Yay! I just picked them up. Oh, and art by my granddaughter. Isn't that cute? She knows I love owls and birds, and she made that for me for Mother's Day. All right, so in the closet, I have tons and tons and tons of scrapbook paper. I got little bins up here that have, you know, beads and buttons, brads, little tiny things like that up there. And I've got yarn. There's a, I think you can see that. There's a one of those like shoe type things that hangs in the closet. And I just put all my yarns in there. It's kind of off in the back because I don't use that as much, but I do crochet, so that's a nice place to, if you're looking for a way to store yarn, that's a good way to do it. All right, and the other side is more paper. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? On this side over here is, you know, more mixed media stuff, tags and stuff, paper bags and reinforcement labels and things. All that's in there. Up top here, here's my scrap bin. I need to get busy and make one of those scrap things and then cut it all up and make something lovely out of it, because this is all my papers from punches and stuff. It's been storing them in there. So anyway, that's that. More paper up top. Yep, you guessed it. So that's pretty much my room and where I work. This is where my camera mounts, my phone. I was using a webcam, and I started having issues with the sound, and so I took it down and started using my iPhone again. What I have here is a microphone stand. It's hard to get it all in one shot. This is the boom here that goes across, and that attaches to a microphone stand. Okay, and it was not horribly expensive. I don't remember exactly right now how much it was, but it was not horribly expensive. But that just goes right across to the top of my work area. And that little piece right there, that clamp, holds the iPhone, and I have a different attachment that holds the webcam. So that's how I do that, and it doesn't take up any room on my tabletop or anything. I love that it stands on the floor out of the way. So that's my room, guys, and I hope you enjoyed seeing where I work and create, my videos for you guys. And speaking of which, I got to get busy editing some right now. So we'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.